What up? It's your boy. We back. Tunnel vision. Lomachenko versus Manny Pacquiao. Lomachenko versus the great Pac-Man, Manny Pacquiao. I want to thank the Lord and everything He does for me, and my wife Jinky. Without them, I would not be as great as I am right now. Karaoke to be loved in the city. You know how Manny Pacquiao be getting down with his karaoke. But before we get into that, don't forget, subscribe, press the like button if you like this, and share with a friend. All right. When it comes to Manny Pacquiao versus Lomachenko, I don't know. It's always weird to me how people are so quick to forget, what has happened in the past. This question was brought towards Bob Arum, and Bob Arum was, Lomachenko laughed it off, saying, "Oh, it's not in the plans," because he does not want that smoke, and has ducked that smoke before. But Bob Arum was talking about how, it definitely saw a fight that could happen, but how it would have to happen at 138 pounds because Loma can't go any further up, blah, blah, blah. One of the, the excuses they're making for, the issues that he's having right now, even though somehow he's pound for pound the best fighter in the world, and somehow he's greater than Ali, yet he can't do all these things that all these other fighters have done before him. Lomachenko's a good fighter. He definitely has skills. But the problem is when you put someone on a certain level or on a certain pedestal, people are going to have certain expectations for you. And when you don't meet those expectations, they're going to trash you. And you're going to look bad in fights that you should be praised for and you should, that should look good. They look trash. It's no difference than Chocolito, how when he used to come in like a rag doll and boom, 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 used to get hit over the head, boom, boom, boom. But then he would hit them back also, rock 'em, sock 'em, robots type of style, and he would win matches. They were fun to watch, But as soon as they started talking about him being pound for pound the best fighter in the world, things changed because you started critiquing him in a different way, in a different fashion. So all his fights from that point on pretty much looked like complete trash because what you were judging him by changed. So, people are kind of getting on Lomachenko right now, and even harder now because now he's been talking about he himself being pound for pound number one. He said, "I believe I'm pound for pound." Before it was other people around him talking, and he would just debunk that real quick. So you really couldn't get on him like that. But after he started saying he believes he's the best fighter in the world, and with the performances that he's having against the likes of Campbell, because you can be a Loma fan all you want to be. You cannot be struggling with the likes of a Campbell if you're, quote, pound for pound the best fighter in the world. Those are people you're supposed to just decimate and go right through, period. Somebody like Tank is coming from a lower weight class. You put him there with a Campbell, it's what round does he get knocked out, not who wins that fight. You put him in there with a Mikey Garcia, it's what round between 1 and 6 does he get knocked out. That's just what it is when it comes to that level of competition. If you're, quote, the best, you got to be able to you shouldn't have any problems with someone like that whatsoever. But, when it comes to a fight between these two, number one, I would say, why does have to be at 138 pounds? Manny Pacquiao's a small dude. He's a small dude. He came from 118 or whatever, went all the way up to 152 pounds fighting. He's fighting guys that are naturally bigger than him on a consistent, regular basis. He fights somebody like a Lomachenko, you meet at 140, he's basically in that fight kind of just fighting someone that's close, basically, very close to his size. Lomachenko would have a size disadvantage, but it wouldn't be that big. Manny Pacquiao, it wouldn't be that big. Manny Pacquiao doesn't hydrate like that, and Lomachenko is 144 pounds 30 days out from a fight. So what is he walking around? 155, 150, 155? A little bit higher than that? He could come in and he won't have to dehydrate himself. So he could come in at 100, 100. He could come in at 100, 50 pounds. 145. What you weigh? 1 month out of a fight, 144. You have to cut down just less weight because it's not like as if it's not a situation where Lomachenko is going to have to eat his way up in weight. He just has to cut down less. Floyd Mayweather went all the way up to 154 pounds. We seen him fighting guys 20 plus pounds bigger than him on a regular basis, weighing in at 150 for 154 bouts. You know, Marquez went from what? The booger weights, 118 or whatever, all the way to 147. Cotto went from 140 to 160. You look at somebody like a Roy Jones. Roy Jones went from 160 to heavyweight. That's 40 plus pounds. Hopkins went from 160 to 175. You know, that's, what's it called? It's 15 pounds. So that, you know, there should be no reason for, you know, for him to not be able to fight someone like a Manny Pacquiao at 140 pounds. You're talking about probably a 5 to 10 pound weight advantage for Manny Pacquiao on the night of the fight when they fight. That's it. You look 5 to 10 pounds. Manny's not that much bigger than him. So that whole 138 pound BS is crazy. And to make it worse, Manny would be coming down 7 pounds because he's fighting at 147 pounds. He'd be coming down 7 pounds. Manny Pacquiao, Lomachenko would be going up 5 pounds. It's just 5 pounds. You know, Lomachenko's only moved up 9 pounds. People talk about all the weight classes that he's gone up. He's only gone up 9 pounds. That's it. You know, that's absolutely it. And Bob Arum said something about him being able to do something like a Lance, like a Armstrong, you know, fighting in 3 weight divisions. It's not the same thing. When Armstrong was fighting, there were what, 8 weight divisions at that time? There weren't that many weight divisions, and there were what, 1 belt in each weight class. So he was the champion in those weight classes, you know. And him, from the weights that he went through, the equivalent would actually be someone holding belts in 5 weight classes. So it's not the same thing, you know. So we have to put things into context. A lot of these additional weights, these middle weights, weren't even around back then, you know. But, you know, do I think it should happen? Absolutely, I think it should happen. I think it'll be a great fight for Manny Pacquiao for his legacy, and I also think it'll be a great fight for Lomachenko. You know, he's not going to fight a Ramirez at 140 pounds, the fight guy he should be fighting right now. He's not going to fight a, you know, Regis Prograis at 140 pounds. I think these are the fights that show how great you are. These are the fights that would show your greatness. Because you're going into this fight, you're the underdog going into those fights. You're the underdog going. You might not be the underdog against Ramirez, even though you should be, you know, but you definitely would be against like a Regis Prograis, where you're going against like some size, power, guys where you punch and they're not going to be fazed by anything you're throwing at them. You know, where you're going to have to rely on your skills, on your IQ, the things that Lomachenko seems to be praised so much for. He's going to be able to have to rely on that. A lot of the shots that he gets hit with in these lower weight classes, he's not going to be able to get hit with those shots in those higher weight classes. Just not going to be able to do it. You know, people used to always trash on Floyd about his style, but the reality is, being 20 pounds smaller than everybody else, he couldn't afford to get hit with certain shots, especially fight after fight after fight. His career would have been very, very short if that was the case when he went up to those weight classes. Such a huge advantage when it comes to strength and size. You know, when you're fighting guys above your walk-around weight. You know, but, you know, so I think they should do it. What do I think the result would be? With them fighting at 140 pounds, who wins? I don't think that's even going to be a question. I just think the only question is going to be, what round does Lomachenko get stopped? You know, the power that Manny Pacquiao has, the speeds that he has, the angles that he has. Ironically, these are the same things they say about Loma. But I just think it'll be way too much for him. If you're having issues with the likes of Campbell, you're having issues with the likes of, you know, Pedraza. You know, I mean, you say, all right, Keith Thurman versus Lomachenko, who wins? You know, what's it called? Lomachenko versus Danny Garcia. Lomachenko versus Sean Porter. They're going to say, oh, Loma has no chance. He's too small. That's what's going to be said. Oh, he's way too small. He's going to get demolished against those guys, right? Well, Manny Pacquiao just took on Keith Thurman and beat him. So that's the guy he would be fighting. You know? And Manny Pacquiao can make 140 pounds. That's nothing. 138, you're trying to shrink him down even further. You know, he's already going to be cutting down. But, you know, you want to just try to hurt him a little bit more. which is not going to happen due to the fact that he would be the A side in that fight. And yeah, I think it would just be a real bad night for him, and he knows it. That's why he refused to do the fight previously. That's why he was calling Manny Pacquiao old before, and how he would get no credit for beating him before. That's why he was doing that. That's why he refused to fight Terence Crawford at 137 pounds. And that's why he's saying no to fighting Ramirez at 140 pounds. You know, because regardless of what he says, he still knows what the reality of the situation is. Yo, don't forget, like button, subscribe, share the videos. See you on the next one.